So good afternoon, students. So let us start the session. The last class we discussed about the recursion. In today's class, we are going to see the packing and unpacking arguments, and we are going to discuss about modules also. The today agenda. So first, we are going to discuss about packing and unpacking arguments in Python. Okay, so already we discussed about this when we discuss about the variable length arguments. And in today, we discuss in detail about these packing and unpacking arguments. The next another topic is the modules in Python. So these two topics we are going to discuss in today's class. So coming to first one, the packing and unpacking arguments. Here, I hope you all are know what is argument. The arguments is nothing but when you call any function, for that function, you're going to give some arguments. So maybe the arguments are optional, but in normal fashion, when you create any function, you're going to create that function with some arguments. Okay, so that is the argument. So coming to packing and unpacking. What is packing and unpacking? So for example, so consider a situation. So where we have a function that receives the 4 arguments or 5 arguments. Now we want to make a call to this function and we have a list the size of the 5 arguments, the size of 5 elements. Now, so when we call this function, you are going to send that list as an argument. So for example, here, so first we complete theory. So after that we are going to see about packing and unpacking practically. So for this packing and unpacking, we are going to use 2 operators. We are going to use 2 operators. One is asterisk, another one is asterisk asterisk. So this asterisk we are going to use the pack or unpack, tuple or list. The tuple or list. Okay. The asterisk we are going to use to pack or unpack dictionary. Or dictionary. Okay. Now you all understand that. So here arguments is nothing but sometimes you are going to send the 4 arguments. Sometimes we send the 3 arguments. How we can handle these type of situation. The first one is here I'm defining 2 functions. If you observe that, so this is the function 1 and this is function 2. Okay. So first we are going to see unpack the arguments, unpacking the arguments. Here, so L equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So L, so this is the list. It contains the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is the list. So this list contains 5 elements. So this list contains 5 elements. Now, if I call the function 1 of L, we assume that here there is no asterisk, let us assume. We call function 1 of L. So now, the L is substituted in A, and for the remaining arguments, we don't send any argument. So for remaining B, C, D, E, we don't send any argument. So it returns an error. It returns an error. Okay. Now, actually this list contains the 5 elements. Now, so my intention is I send these 5 numbers to these arguments A, B, C, D. I send so these 5 numbers as arguments to this A, B, C, D. That means the values to this A, B, C, D. How? Means by unpacking this list. So how I can unpack the list means by using asterisk symbol. By using asterisk symbol, you are going to unpack the list here. Okay. So first we are going to execute this program. So this packing and unpacking we are going to use in many situations. When you write, when you solve some problem, you are going to write these type of programs. So these type of, so packing and unpacking arguments. So here I am defining a function. So def the function. So for example, this function have four arguments. For example, A, B, C, D. So these are the four arguments. I'm going to print A plus, B plus, C plus D. Okay. Now I take a list L equals 2. So this list contains 1, 2, 3, 4. So four numbers. If I call like this, so fun1 of L. So now it returns an error. You observe that it returns an error. Observe that. So this is the error we got. The function one missing three required positional arguments. So actually we define this function one with four arguments A, B, C, D. And when I call this function, the fq1, I assign only, I call this function one with the help of only one argument. Now this L is assigned to A, and for the remaining B, C, D, there is no argument. That means missing three required positional arguments. Now, so I want to pack this list. Actually, the list contains the four arguments. Now, I want to unpack this by using asterisk. Okay, I hope you all are understand what is the purpose of asterisk here. It's asterisk L that indicates I want to unpack the list element. Now, the asterisk of L means now unpacking means this list elements are placed here. Instead of asterisk of L, the 1, 2, 3, 4 are the passed with the help of function call. If I execute now, it returns 10. If you observe that, it returns 10. If I here, it returns an error. Okay. So this is about unpacking. So there is a list. I unpack this list. And coming to packing. So coming to packing the elements here. Okay. So coming to the next one, pack the list. So unpacking is nothing but so this list will be unpacked. Packing is nothing but sometimes in some situations we call the function with three arguments, the four arguments, the five. So this concept we are called as a variable length argument. In previous class, we discussed about this topic. The variable length argument. This is the function 2. I call here the function 2 with the help of three arguments. Again, function 2, I call the arguments two arguments. The function 2, here I call function 2 with five arguments. So this is we are called as a the variable, the argument, the variable length arguments. So this is the first call with three arguments, second call with two arguments, and third call with five arguments. Now, in this case, so this is the 2, 3, 4. The 2, 3, 4 will be packed with the help of asterisk here. So def function 2, if you observe that the argument is asterisk L, the argument is asterisk L. So asterisk L indicates the pack the elements. You pack the elements and store in this L. Okay. We execute this program here. Same program. I'm defining another function, function 2. This function we are going to use the variable length argument and here I'm going to print sum of n. Okay. So I call this function 2 like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Function 2. Now I call the same function with 3 arguments. I call the same function with 2 arguments. Okay. We execute this. You observe that the output is 10, 6, 3. The output is 10, 6, 3. In first function call, the arguments are 4. The asterisk elements, we pack the data elements and stored in a list L. If you want to know this, so here I am going to print type of L here, type of L. After that, this is the tuple. So this is the tuple. So this L is the tuple here. Okay. In first function call, so function 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I pass the 4 arguments. Now these 4 arguments, the 4 data elements are packed into L. So the L is tuple. So after that we are going to find the summation here. In second function call, I pass only 3 arguments, 1, 2, 3. So now, so these 3 data elements are stored in this tuple L. Okay. So this concept we are going to say packing and unpacking the arguments. And so this is about asterisk. So asterisk is used for so asterisk we are going to use for tuple. So tuple and similarly asterisk. So this asterisk we are going to use it for dictionary. So dictionary concept is the same. Packing and unpacking. If it is the dictionary, we are going to use double asterisk. If it is the list or tuple, we are going to use asterisk. Okay. So this is the example for packing and unpacking of a dictionary. So here I'm taking a dictionary here. D equals to, so this is the dictionary. So how we define a dictionary? By using level brackets, and you can create with the help of key and value. Key column value here. So apple, banana, orange. So these three are the keys. So these three are the keys. And so 2, 5, 1. So these are the arguments here. These are the values. Sorry. So these are the values for these keys here. The apple, banana, orange are the keys, and 2, 5, 1 are the values here. So now, so packing and unpacking. Okay, so unpacking is nothing but here. So there is a data elements or keys are in the dictionary. Now I unpack these keys, data elements in this dictionary by using asterisk. Here, if you observe that, so def function 1. So these are the 3 arguments here. Apple, banana, orange are the 3 arguments. Now, here this D also contains the 3 data elements. The 3 data elements. When I unpack this, the 2 is assigned to here apple. The 5 is assigned to banana, and 1 is assigned to orange here. So this we are called as a unpack the dictionary. So how we unpack the dictionary means by using the tuple asterisk. So how we can unpack the tuple list by using single asterisk. Okay. So this single asterisk we are going to use to pack or unpack the tuple. Okay. For dictionary we are going to use so double asterisk. So this is the unpacking. So first we are going to see so how to unpack the dictionary. Okay. First, you are going to take one dictionary here. So D equals to, so flower bracket. In this you are going to define the 2, 5, banana 5, or a 1. Okay, so this is the dictionary. So now I unpack this dictionary like this. For example, I define a function 1 here. You take any arguments here. Instead of apple, I take A, B, C here, or A, B, go. Now, if I print these values, print A, comma, B, comma, go. My intention is I pass these data elements in the dictionary as arguments to this function. So if I call like this, the function 1 of B, now it returns an error. I hope you all understand this error. So here I pass only D, but the arguments are 3. So it returns that an error. So function 1 missing 2 arguments, 2 required positional arguments. So here we are going to unpack the dictionary. How we can unpack the dictionary? By using asterisk 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 D. If I unpack this, what happened? The function 1, sorry. Here we are going to give a key value. Right? Okay. If you observe that now the 3 is assigned here. The apple 3. In this is the key value. So this is the value. Now, so these apple and 3 assigned to the argument in this function 1. Now, this 3 is assigned to apple. Similarly for the banana and similarly for orange here. Okay, so this is the asterisk symbol we are going to use to unpack the dictionary. So we are going to see how to pack the dictionary. So for example, there is some situations we are going to pass the variable length arguments. Variable length argument. In that situations, we are going to pack the dictionary. Okay. Here, so this is the example. Here I call this I define a function like this. So this is the function. So here, function 2 asterisk asterisk D. So that means here I call this function like this. Function 2, apple equals to 2, banana equals to 5, orange equals to 5. Now I hope you all remember how in dictionary function, we already discussed about the dictionary function. Dictionary in brackets, we are going to give some data. Now, if you give like this, apple equals to 2, then apple is the key value and 2 is the value. Okay. Now, so I call function 2, apple equals to 2, banana equals to 5, orange equals to 5. Now, so these data is stored in the D as a dictionary. So pack, this we are called as a pack the dictionary. Okay. We execute this program. Okay. So function, I'm defining the function def function 2. In this function, I'm going to pack the dictionary. So asterisk D. Now the D is dictionary. So I want to print the dictionary value. Okay. And here I'm calling like this the function 2 of apple equals to 5, banana equals to 10, orange equals to 20. Okay, so now it reads so 5, 10, 20. Okay, so this we are called as a pack the dictionary. So for example, the same function I call one more time. So function 2. Now I call with only one argument. Apple 10. We execute one more time. Now also the function accepts the arguments. First function call we use 3 arguments. In second function call we use only one argument. So this concept we are called as a packing and unpacking. So this is very much useful when you are writing or solving any coding problem. Okay. The next concept is modules. So modules in Python. So what is a module? What is a module? So module is nothing but so what we are going to save all our programs. All our programs are the modules. Okay. So now only we save one program 27.py, the Python file. So that is also a module here. Okay, simply saying, so what is a module means? The module is a Python file. The Python file we call as a module. So what is the advantage of these modules? So modules are providing the following advantages. One is the modularization, abstraction, security, shareability, and reusability. So first one is modularization. So modularization is nothing but so there is a big problem. So for example, library management system. Now, for that problem, you're going to write one main program. Okay, so this is the main program. And now you divide this problem into sub-problem. For example, library management. So this is the book issue. This is the book issue. And this is the book renewal. Book renewal. So there is another module. So for example, this is fine. Okay. Now, the modularization is nothing but the big problem is divided into the different modules. Now you can access these modules from main module. Okay, that we are called as the modularization. The next one, abstraction. Abstraction is nothing but the hiding the data. The hiding the data. Now, so this main can access this the book issue without knowing the code of this the book issue. That means, so here we divide this program into sub problems. So without knowing the data without knowing the code in this the book issue, the main can access the code or instructions in the and security. So security is nothing but so in the next few classes we are going to discuss about some OOP concept, object oriented programming concepts. In this object oriented concepts, there is another concept is that encapsulation. Encapsulation plus abstraction. So this we are by using these two, we are going to provide the security to the data. For example, there is a the data variable. So the a equals to 10. Equals to 10. Now, how we can provide the security to this data element means by providing by defining this in main program. Now this a cannot be accessed from the book issue, the book borrow, or I define a variable c equals to 20 in fine. Now so this variable c cannot be accessed from any other module. Okay. So by creating or by using these modules concept, you are going to provide the security to your data. And shareability. So shareability is nothing but you write the code. So for one program, now this code will you can use in another program. That concept we are called as a shareability. That means the same program. For example, you define a program say for addition of two numbers in one file. the same file you are going to share with another program. That concept we are called as a shareability. It's a reusability. So reusability is nothing but when you sharing the data, a same file you are going to use in many programs. So that concept we are called as a reusability. In Python, there are two types of modules. One is the predefined modules, and second one is user-defined modules. User-defined modules. So now, what is the predefined modules? The predefined modules is nothing but so when you install Python in your program, the Python software in your system, so automatically some modules are imported into your Python software. So those modules we are called as a predefined module. I hope you all remember that. In our previous programs, we used some math SQRT function. SQRT function. So how we use this SQRT function? The first line of the program is import. Import math. This SQRT function is in module math. Now we call this function like this, the math dot SQRT. So now, so these type of modules we are calling the predefined modules. And coming to user-defined modules, the developer can define some modules. So these type of modules we are called as a the user-defined modules. Okay, this is the introduction about modules. Now we see the predefined modules. So predefined modules means which provide along with Python software. So these softwares we are called as a predefined modules. Example. These are the example modules. Math, NumPy, random, Tkinter. There are many predefined modules. Actually, why the Python is popular means because of these the huge modules only. So these modules we are going to use in our program. Okay. So one is this is the example. Okay, you can use the module like this. So this is the function is in module math. That means it's a module name. That means math.py. So this is one program. Actually, this is one program. Okay. In this program, there is a function SQRT. Okay. So SQRT like this. Let us assume in this module, there is a function SQRT. This SQRT have some instructions. Okay, now the import math. What it means? This program, this math.py program or file, program file is imported into your program. For example, your program name is test.py. Test.py. Now, so this math.py is imported into your math.test.py. Now, print math.sqrt. Here, the math is the module name and sqrt is the function name. So, for example, I want to call the sqrt function directly. So, here, if you observe that in first example, I call the sqrt function like this. So, math.sqrt of 25. But so instead of this instruction import math, you write from math import sqrt. What it means? From math module, I want to import sqrt function. Now, the only this sqrt function is imported into this test.py. So here I directly call this the sqrt function like this, print sqrt of 25. I hope you all understand the difference between first call and second call. Then we call the math.sqrt of 25. So why here I import math. That means the entire math.py is imported into my test.py. Let us assume the file name is test.py. Now the entire module will be imported into this program. But in second example, I import only sqrt function. So how I import sqrt function from math? Import SQRT. Now, in first call, we call with the help of module name, but in second example, we directly call the function with the function name. Okay, so this is about the predefined modules. There are many predefined modules available in Python. So how we can access the module means by using import keyword, import math, or from math module import the function name. Okay, so this is about the predefined modules. We execute these instructions. For example, here I'm going to print sqrt of 25. If I execute this, now it returns an error. Why? SQRT is not defined in this program. So SQRT is already a predefined function available in math. So I write like this: import math. If I execute this, now also it returns the same error. So why? I import math module. So I call this function with the help of module name. So math.str. Now if we execute this, now it returns answer 5.0. Okay, why? Now this str function is imported into your program. That means the entire math.py is imported into your program. Okay, so now instead of this, I write like this. So from math import strt, import strt. Now only the strt function will imported into this program. Okay, I hope you all are understand the difference between these two instructions. Okay, the next one, predefined modules. Predefined modules. So this is user defined. The user defined modules. User defined modules. Okay. So user defined modules are defined by the developer. Defined by the developer. So coming to predefined modules, so predefined modules are defined by the Python developers. Okay. So how you are going to create a user defined module means the first one, create a module. Second one, access members from module. What you understand from these two statements? First one is create the module. What it means? So what is the module? The module is nothing but a program. It's a program. So first you are going to create a program. So after that, access the members from module. That means after that you are going to write another program. Now from this program, let us assume this is the program two. From this program two, you are going to access the members in program. Okay. In predefined modules, already we discussed that the math module. That means this is the math.py. So this math.py contains many functions. In this, one of the functions is SQRT. Okay. So here math.py is a predefined module. So there is no need of creating the module. So after access the members from module to create another program too. From this program too, you are going to call this SQRT like the math.sqrt. Math.sqrt. In the similar way, you are going to define the user defined module also. To create a module, after that, access members from module. Okay. We see how to create user defined module. If you observe that, so this is the module, one module. Let us assume. So let us assume Just wait. Sorry. So now, if you observe that, so this is one module. So this is one module. I save this module like this. The module 1.py. Module 1.py. Okay. So this is another program. Let us assume the program name is test1.py. Test1.py. Okay. So first, I'm going to create this module. First step. What's the second step? The second step is to access members from this module, the test1.py. Okay. So first we are going to execute this program. Okay. So this is our first task. The first task is create the module. So create module. So here I take one module here, one file, and I save this file in one directory. For example, I save this file in desktop Python classes folder. Okay, and the module name is module 1.1. So module 1. Okay, so this is the module 1.py. Okay, so now in this module, I'm going to define the functions. For example, I'm defining two variables, say equals to 20, b equals to 10. Okay, I'm defining four functions. So four functions and print a plus b. So print a plus b, subtraction sub, print a minus b, df, the multiplication mul, print a into b, df, division, print a by b. Okay, so this is the module. What's the module name? The module name is module 1.py. Okay, just let me say that. Is there any errors? Yes. Okay, now there is no predefined errors here. Now, the first step is over. I create the module. What's the module name here? Module 1.py. Now, I want to access these module members from another module. So, I open another file and I save this file, the same directory, desktop Python. In this directory only, there is a module 1 here. If you observe that module 1, in the same directory, we are going to create a file. For example, the file name is test1.test1. Okay. So this is the test1.py. Let us assume the module 1 is also the predefined module. Then how we can import? Simple. Import module 1. The module 1. Okay. So after that, so how we can call the strc? Math.strc. Here the module name is module 1. So module 1.a. For example, I print the module 1.a. So what is the output? It prints so 20 as output. If you observe that, the import module 1. The module 1 is another program, another Python program. But I access this module 1 from test1.py, from test1.py here. Okay. In similar way, you are going to print module2 dot print, just call add function. If you call add like this, everyone please give the response. We get any error or it prints addition. Okay. Everyone please give the response in the chat box. If I call like this, add, it gives any error or it prints the addition of this 10 and 20. Everyone please give the response in the chat box whether we get the error or not. Okay. We get the error. Okay. So we get the error here. What is the error here? Add is not defined. Add is not defined. So we call this add with the help of module name. Module1 dot add and module1 dot this will be subtraction. Module1 dot multiplication. Module1 dot division. You execute this. Now you don't get any error here. The module1 dot A 20, module1 dot B 10, module1 dot add 30, module1 dot subtraction 10, the module1 dot multiplication 200, the module1 dot division 2.0. So for example, I want to print like this. So for example, add. Now to execute this, get the error like this. Add. Now how we can overcome this? From module1 import and the variables are a comma b. So instead of calling module1 dot a, we call directly ab add here. So we don't get any error here. Okay. So this is about user-defined modules. In tomorrow class, we are going to discuss more examples on the user-defined module. Thank you all. So we meet in tomorrow class. Thank you.